of been heavy my whole life. In high school, I was always the big boy. Went into the Navy, and just barely, I think purely God allowed me to get in there, because I was like 202 when I signed up for the program. And then the night before, the recruiter's like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you know. And then I weighed in at 198. So I think the doctor just mentally thought, oh, he made the cutoff. Because I'm pretty sure 198 at 5'4" was not the cutoff. But
unless he just had this arbitrary 200-pound cutoff, regardless of size. What if it was the guy from Game of Thrones? You know, Tyrion Lannister.
Right. Went in with a 38-inch waist. At the end of boot camp, I was at 33-inch waist. And then slowly through the 7 years being in the service, kind of slowly gained some of it, if not probably all of it back. And then I got out of the Navy, and it just kind of, and that was in 97, just seemed to kind of gain roughly 100 more pounds. So I'm sitting right around 305 right now. In general, though, I don't feel bad. I just know health-wise I'm not at where I should be.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much sums it up.
Okay, cool. When do you remember the first time you started gaining weight or noticing that you were bigger than?
I honestly don't remember, other than probably a couple years out of boot camp, you know, when we're running the fitness test every year or every other year, whatever it was. But I look back at high school, and I was always kind of big, so I don't ever remember gaining it fast or losing it fast. Just, you know, sometime out of high school, before I joined the Navy, I tried the Atkins diet, but didn't understand the idea of water and all that, and I got so constipated, I said never again. But I had lost, I don't know, 15, 18 pounds. It was working well, but when I got constipated, I was like, that's it, no more.
For sure. Okay, cool. What's the biggest motivator right now?
Probably getting off the drugs, the high blood pressure, the cholesterol drugs. I hate taking drugs.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You know. So.
And what do you equate those drugs to in your mind? Like, let's say you had to be on them for the rest of your life.
You know what? I hate doctors.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever, at least the ones I've run into, I think they always got an ulterior motive. So, I don't know. I just can't stand taking the drugs. I'm just not, I don't believe in it. Unfortunately, right now, I need it.
Sure. I hear you, man. Well, I understand. I mean, I've been on plenty of drugs in my life, and I feel the same way about them. You know, it's kind of like, especially if, are you a man who values your freedom?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. And so I am too. And for me, like the drugs are sort of like being shackled to something that you need to live, which is the opposite of freedom. Right. And we've been given these bodies that when we put in the work to get them back to their natural state, they run pretty fucking well on their own. But when they require outside assistance, and especially when that assistance comes much of the time with side effects and then more drugs for the side effects, and it's this pattern that just gets more and more complicated as we age, the end result is not only do we not feel that freedom that we value so much, but these drugs end up taking from us too. They're not without consequences. So I hear what you're saying. I mean, part of the reason that that I've made some of the biggest changes in my life, many of them not easy when I initially committed to them, was to get off of drugs and regain that independence and give my body its ability to restore my body's natural ability to do what it does, right? Rather than needing to rely on these other things. Do you resonate with any of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I not the last time I saw the doctor, but the time before that, he wanted to prescribe me even more medicine, and I was like, no, I'm not taking any more. 5 is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I understand the freedom. I may not always look at it like that, but I think the underlying what you're saying is right.
Yeah. How does the weight or anything about your current situation right now in your body, with your energy, what are some of the ways that it impacts your life that piss you off?
Well, we're going to Tennessee in a couple of weeks. I won't be able to ski or do some of the other things in the boarding events, so that's frustrating. And lately, I'd say the last month and a half, I'm feeling myself getting tired sooner in the day than I have in the past. That's frustrating.
Mm-hmm. And any other areas? Maybe some stuff that anything that we discuss here is 100% confidential. So, and anything that you have that you feel that that pisses you off that you can't even talk with other people about, now is a good time to share it and at least help me understand.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I don't get mad about too many things. But I don't like being this big. But yet then other times I feel comfortable. So it's real bipolar on you know, there's days that I'm really frustrated by it, and then other days I feel great. So I'm kind of on kind of seesaw with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. And it's tricky too because some of these things, when our body or our energy is a little bit out of alignment, or even sometimes a lot out of alignment, there's parts of that we can feel, and there's parts of that we don't feel. You know, you don't feel a heart attack coming. It just fucking comes, and then you can't move the right side of your body, and your dick doesn't work anymore, right? So it's important to differentiate that the things that we feel are need to be given validity, right? If you're noticing, look at it like this. We've got a couple important areas in our lives, right? We've got our health, we've got our business and our finances, we've got our relationships, and then we've got, you know, for some people, spirituality, or, you know, connection with everything around us. And a quick look is, if you go into each of those areas, are things expanding and getting better and improving, or are they contracting? Is our world getting smaller? Right? It gives you a very rough look at the direction, the trajectory that things are headed. And much of that trajectory is dictated by what's going on inside of us, right? And what's going on inside of us is dictated by the choices that we make every single day. So if you look at your health, your body, your energy, right? Is it right now, do you feel like it's been expanding, or do you feel like it's contracting? You know, in the way that your body looks, and in your energy, those sorts of things.
Well, I'd say it's kind of flatlining, contracting a little bit.
Okay. Your relationships.
I would say overall they're improving.
Okay. Business, finances.
Kind of flatlined.
Okay.
Things are going good, but I want them to be much better.
Okay. Cool. And then connection with, you know, all living things around you, spirituality, whatever you want to call that?
I would feel solid, kind of. That at the moment for me is that priority for me is kind of on the back burner because I feel like I'm in a good place there.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome, man. I'm excited for us to dig into this, and what I'd like to cover on this. My goal is I'm here for you, right? And I want to give you a few different things. I want to give you a blueprint so that you know exactly what to do, where with certainty, one of the biggest things that holds us back with any program let's call it a transformation program, right? We're going to change your body. We're going to change your energy, assuming you do this shit. And I'm going to curse here and there.
Okay.
So, you know, some people hate it. It's just part of who I am periodically. Anything that you do, let me rephrase that. Anything that I provide you as a blueprint requires action. And I could hand this stuff over on a silver platter, but if you do it for 3 or 4 weeks and then go back to what's comfortable, it's not going to do a damn thing. And you're going to be looking for another new shiny object to get you out of this situation. The greatest thing that you can do is embrace the pain right now and get real clear. As human beings, if we focused on the pain every single day, the things that, the areas of our life that our body, that our energy is holding us back, where you know in your heart, like Robert, you know in your heart what you're capable of, right?
Right.
You know that when other people judge you because of your weight, make snap judgments or assumptions, you know they're wrong, right? And there's a part of you that wants to prove them wrong. Oftentimes we run away from the pain because if you didn't have a blueprint and you spent too much time in the pain, every day would suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm encouraging you to do on this call is allow yourself to be real about the pain and be truthful about the areas where maybe you've ran from it because for those reasons, where if you just spent too much time there and you didn't have a game plan, it would make life kind of shitty. But that pain is the same thing that fuels us to say, fuck this shit. I'm going to prove all these fuckers wrong and I'm taking back control of my life. And I want to see what I'm capable of. Right?
Right.
There's a part of you that I can feel that likes to prove people wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Right?
Yep.
You got to embrace that part of you. Because this is that opportunity. Because, you know, maybe your wife, maybe your kids, but no one in this world will believe in you before you believe in yourself. And you need to be fucking certain in your mind that you're going to lose 100 pounds. And you need to be certain that you're going to lose it in a specified time frame that we're going to decide. And you need to be certain that there is no fucking way, no matter what happens, even if an asteroid hits this earth, that you're going to stop doing the shit that's going to get you there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
That is the foundation of all of this. Because I could give you the blueprint and it doesn't mean a fucking thing.
Right.
If you don't take action on it. You hear me?
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to cover 2 different facets. We're going to cover some of the goal setting and emotional side where we get your subconscious brain on board and we get real clear about what you actually want. Because I'm not going to BS you. Change in any area is hard. But if it's worth it, if it's for something where you're like, I'm willing to go through the gauntlet and the crucible in order to get this weight finally off, this physical and metaphoric weight, and prove all these assholes wrong, and live every day in the shoes that I'm meant to be living it in, then you'll walk through fire. And you'll wake up every morning, and there's a lot of mornings that you're not going to want to do this stuff, but you'll do it anyway because you've got a bigger vision, right?
Right.
So we're going to get clear on that vision, and we're going to start with that. And that's going to give us the goal and the deadline. And then I'm going to provide some of the roadmap that's going to get there. And we're going to work on it together, and we're going to make sure that you've got a few things that when executed daily and weekly will get you there. And I promise you, it's more than you've done in this area. I also promise you it will work. Because I think the worst thing that I could do is give you some stuff, give you a blueprint, but have it be almost enough.
Right.
Right? That just pisses you off. But if you're like, all right, this is 90 days of hard ass work, but I'm certain that in doing it, I will get the result that is important to me. That's going to have me showing up as the husband and the father and the coworker and the leader that I know I am. It's going to shut these people up and prove them wrong. Everybody that says I can't,
right?
Everyone that thinks I'm going to spend the rest of my life like this, then you're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let's figure out what that is. And you talked about it a little bit in your health assessment, but I'd like to hear it from your heart, right? Like if there's one goal where, let's say it's 90 days from now, right? And let's say over these 90 days, 6 days a week, you're going to work your butt off. And you're going to be almost obsessed. I use that word, it's gained a negative connotation in our society, but I believe it's a good thing. Especially when for short periods of time. Like if you think back to moments of greatness and achievement in your life where like there was something that you didn't know if you could do it, right? And it took pretty much everything that you had inside of you, preparation, learning, training, whatever it is. Is there anything that you can think of in that area? Something that you're real proud of, that you've dedicated yourself to? I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit.
I don't know that I've ever been overly challenged in a lot of areas. I think the only thing that was kind of a mental challenge was the Navy, because before that, I had hopped around job to job. I'd get pissed off at managers, supervisors, be like, fine, you do it tomorrow, you know? And then I said, that's it. I'm going to do something where I can't quit. So I joined the Navy. I signed up for 4, added another 3, and then decided it was time done. But honestly, I would think that's the only mental thing that I've ever conquered.
Okay.
Was that goal.
Good. So that's important to know. And it's going to parallel here. So the commitment that I would ask you to make to yourself right here and now is this. For the next 90 days, 6 days a week, no matter what, come hell or high water, you are going to execute this game plan. Whether you feel like it or not, there is no way out, right?
Okay.
The mindset here is that we call it a fight camp. I want you to imagine that in 90 days, in exactly 90 days from now, you have the fight of your life coming up. And I don't care if you've never been in an actual fight in your life. That doesn't matter.
I have.
You have, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So in 90 days, you are fighting a guy that right now, Robert today, he would whoop your ass. But if you train 6 days a week and you put forth everything you have every single day, you will come out victorious when you guys fight in 90 days. That's what the mindset needs to be. And I want you to dispel any notion that in order to execute and take action, you need to be motivated. I don't give a shit if you are motivated. I give a shit if you do it.
Okay.
That's it. Your brain, our brains, they're very convincing at weaseling our way out of things.
Right.
You will come up with so many convincing reasons to stop, and why now is not the time, and why sometime in the future that isn't now, it could all work out. It will never be the case. So what you need to do is turn on that coach inside of you, that force inside of you that gets fired up proving people wrong and is obsessed with losing as much weight as possible and getting as strong as possible and as healthy as possible in these next 90 days, because the fight of your life is at the end of that 3-month window. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
That's the mindset. So when we talk about fight camp, that's what we mean.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
No.
All right. So, and the reason that we do this is because if I told you, hey, Robert, I'm going to give you a 12-month game plan and I want you to do all this stuff for the next 12 months, 6 days a week, you'd be like, oh man, that's a long time. A lot can happen in 12 months, but we can do anything for 90 days, anything. And we're still able to maintain the important relationships in our life and our work stuff and be obsessed with our health and body and energy related goals for a focused period where we're putting everything we've got into a singular outcome. So let's figure out what that singular outcome is, where if you know and you're ready to roll up your sleeves and go to war for 90 days, let's come up with an outcome that is worth it. That's like, you know what? I'm willing to push myself into uncharted territories. I'm ready to achieve victory through attrition, even if it means expanding myself and challenging myself in ways that I've never been challenged, if this is the goal, right? So
Okay.
what is that goal for you?
In 90 days?
Yeah.
I would think to lose at least 50 pounds, maybe 60 pounds. More than that, I think might be a little unhealthy.
What would excite you?
Oh, if I lost 50 pounds, that would excite me without a doubt. Because then I know I could continue that.
Mm-hmm. So typically we see when guys, I mean, we've had guys lose 20 pounds in 8 days, more than that even.
Really? Holy cow.
And it also, you know, when things kind of taper off, it tends to level out around, you know, 5 to 7 pounds a week if you're going all in. Now, in some of these cases, not all of them, some of these instances where guys have like set records for how much they've lost in certain periods of time, sometimes they're not even like exercising that much, but you know, it'll be a guy who's like physically active, right? And he's just looking for every opportunity to move more, right? All day long, he's trying to get in steps. He's dropping and doing push-ups. He's doing squats. You know, any way that he can get in, he can. But if you asked him like, how many workouts is he doing per week? He's like, I'm not even working out, right?
Okay.
And then in other cases, you've got guys who will train once a day, but they'll put in a good hour, right? They'll do maybe 20 minutes of strength stuff, maybe 30 to 60 minutes of cardio, and then maybe they'll end with a sauna, just kind of chilling in the sauna. And then at the other extreme, we've had guys do 2-a-days, where they'll train they'll train some fasted cardio in the morning, and then they'll do some strength stuff. Maybe it's body weight, maybe it's going to the gym, and then everything in between. So there's what I'm saying, sharing that for is there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. But basically the recipe is doing a ton more than you're doing right now, because that's what it is for everybody, right?
Right.
And what I'm going to suggest is going to be an hour of good, hard, obsessed work 6 days a week.
Okay.
Right? I'm just kind of running the numbers here. So 12 weeks, I think 60 pounds is very doable. And if you want that and you're obsessed with that, where you're tracking, I don't want you, this isn't a slight on women in any way. They just have a tendency to do it more than we do. What women tend to do with weight loss is they get on the scale every single day, and whether it goes up a pound or down a pound, it's like an emotional roller coaster based on the number on the scale. I don't want you doing that, right? But Peter Drucker, the management expert, said what gets measured gets managed. So if you're obsessed and you're tracking for this fight camp, knowing you're putting the right amount of food in your body, knowing you're putting the right food in your body, you're getting on the scale every day to make sure that even if it's, like this, but it's headed the right direction, because it won't be like that. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Sometimes people put in a good amount of work for periods of time. One of our clients, she's getting ready for a fitness competition, and she was frustrated because training twice a day, morning and afternoon or evening, and watching every single thing she ate, her weight didn't move for 6 weeks. And then it just, right? Now she's pretty close to her body weight, to her ideal body weight. But she stayed the course, and she knew that with the right blueprint that she had and executing it, it was gonna happen, right? So she still continued to track. She still continued to be focused and obsessed, and then it broke, and then it happened fast, right? So sometimes things work like that. So I'm sharing that so that for you, the weight will probably move fast, and it will probably be in the amount of 5 to 7 pounds a week. And it may even be more at the beginning if you go all in, right? And it can be done healthfully. So I like that 60-pound number, right? And so if 90 days from now, your body weight is 60 pounds less than it is right now, that's a success, right?
Right.
Okay. So what's the date today? July 23rd. So we got August, September, October. How do you feel about October 23rd? Is there any significant landmarks, birthdays, events around October 23rd or that you can think of, or is October 23rd a good date?
It should be fine. Nothing in and around that date at the moment.
Okay. What's your weight as of today? You said about 305?
About 305, give or take a little bit.
Okay. So 305, what's 305 minus 60 pounds?
245.
245. All right. So let's put this together, and then we can make some tweaks on it. Robert, how do you pronounce your last name? Is it Bilger? All right. So we're going to phrase it like this. I, Robert Bilger, weigh 245 pounds or better at or before October 23rd, 2019. Did you write that down?
Yep.
Okay. Say it out loud with me, but more importantly, feel it.
I, Robert Bilger, will weigh 245 or less by October 23rd, 2019.
Perfect. Take out the will and read it again. So you're phrasing it as if it's already occurred.
I thought that was a good thing to do.
It's good. This is even better. We're talking about this shit like it's already done.
Okay. I, Robert Bilger,
Weigh
thank you, weigh 245 or less by October 23rd, 2019.
How's that feel?
Feels good.
It's good, right?
Yep.
Let's start the next sentence. Because. And continue writing this down. I train for at least an hour a day. 6 days a week, comma.
6 days a week, comma.
I put clean food in my body that moves me closer to my goal every single meal.
I put clean food in my body that moves me closer to my goal
every single meal, comma. I track and hit my daily nutrition and water targets with precision.
I track and hit my daily nutrition targets and water.
Yep, there you go.
Nutrition targets.
Nutrition and water targets with precision.
And water targets with precision.
And I execute on
my
daily action plan. I am obsessed. In the most powerful and positive connotation of the word.
In the most powerful and positive connotation of the word.
And will accept nothing less than success.
And will
accept nothing less than success. Now I know that's a long one and it's a bit verbose, as I can be sometimes. But let's read that, and what I'd like you to do as you read this, take your time with it, but feel it and kind of see it as done. Imagine like you're reading this 90 days from now, right? And this is going to happen. You put in the work, this will happen.
Okay.
So read it back to me and feel it. So not here, I want you to read it from here.
Right. Hopefully I can read this chicken scratch.
We got recordings of the calls, and your first homework assignment is going to be to rewatch this. And
okay.
You know, repetition is the mother of skill, right? So I don't want you to rewatch this at the expense of getting your first training session in, but you're going to rewatch this within 24 hours, and you're going to catch stuff that maybe was not caught the first time, right?
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I train for at least...
Start from the very beginning. I, Robert Bilger.
Oh, okay. I didn't write that one verbatim. So
here, I'll get it again.
Robert Bilger, train. No. You want me to?
I'll give you the first part too.
Bilger, weigh 245 or better on October 23rd, 2019. I trained for at least an hour a day, 6 days a week. I put clean food in my body every single meal. I track and hit my nutritional goals and something target
And
water target with precision and positive connotation. My daily action plan, I am obsessed in the most positive and powerful of connotation. When I reread it, I'll get it in connotation of the word.
Good.
And will accept nothing less than success.
Perfect. So what we're going to do, this is good. We're getting there. I want you to take this as soon as we're off, before the night is done. I want you to have your goal and vision statement written out. I want you to snap a picture and text it to me.
Okay.
Okay. So it's going to be something along the lines of, I, Robert Bilger, weigh 245 pounds or better at or before October 23rd, 2019, because, and then you got the next one, which is I hit my daily nutrition and hydration targets with precision. I train 6 days a week for at least an hour a day. I execute on my daily action plan. I am obsessed in the most positive connotation or meaning of the word. And I accept nothing less than success. Right?
Okay.
You're going to get that written out. And I'd like you to put a picture up that inspires you. It doesn't have to be of you. It could be of someone else. So I'm going to show you one of mine. I finished a fight camp on June 18th, right? The same stuff that we're talking about, I do, because we all need this. Like, otherwise, we just sort of go through life dabbling. And nothing happens when we dabble.
Right.
We end up staying comfortable. We end up getting a little bit of progress here and there. All you need to do is look around and see where most people's health and body and lives are at, to see where dabbling gets you, right? The great strides, the type of progress that will inspire you and fuel you to go through the gauntlet for 90 days to come out on the other side victorious, it comes from obsession, right? So you need to feed your mind every day with the things that get you fired up. The images, you need to read this 100 times a day, or at least a dozen times a day. It needs to be everywhere your eyes go, right? So like mine from fight camp is still right there. I get up in the morning, it's on my vision board, right? I'm thinking about it all the time. I'll give you a little idea. So this is what mine looks like. See at the top, it says World Championship Fight Camp. It's got the date. It's got the things that are important to me. It's got a picture of Conor McGregor knocking out, who at the time was undefeated, 10 years, the best pound for pound in the world, Jose Aldo, in 13 seconds. He was the only one that thought he could do it, right? Everyone's like, there's no way you're going to knock a guy out who's never lost, who's one of the best fighters of all time. But he was like, you guys don't know what I'm doing when you're not watching. So whatever it is for you, for me, that story inspired me, right? I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it's Rocky, maybe it's Schwarzenegger, maybe it's none of that shit. Maybe it's a picture of you in the Navy, right? But you got to put something up that really gets you emotionally moving. Because most days you're not going to feel like doing a damn thing, because our bodies are obsessed with energy conservation. They're still running on this old script where 10,000 years ago, all we had to do was save our energy, and it was hard to get food. And it's the same stuff that keeps us stuck now, and it keeps us overweight and separated from our potential. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you want to get to where you're overriding that desire to conserve energy and the thought loops that will try to keep you from executing, right?
Okay.
And put that everywhere. How do you feel about that goal?
It sounds great.
Okay. So that's your first homework assignment. I want your goal clear, where when you read it and you feel it, it fires you up.
Okay.
And it's going to get to the point where after you've read it and seen it hundreds of times, all you got to do is look at that picture or look at that phrasing, and you already know. You're already there. You're already at your goal weight, right?
Right.
Any questions?
No, other
Okay.
than texting you to that number you were texting me at earlier with.
Yeah, you get it written out. You got your picture. You got it written out, and then text it to me. Let me put on a little bug spray. One of these fucking no-see-ums has snuck its way into my house, and it's eating me alive. All right, cool. The most important thing here is that quitting is not an option, right? You need to make that commitment now, because if you commit to it and you prepare yourself in advance and you already know how you're going to respond when the inevitable desire to quit comes up, the desire to quit does not have any power over you. And it doesn't matter, because we all have it. And the most disempowering thing that you could do is assume that anyone else, me or anybody in the world, is able to do any of this stuff because of superhuman willpower or discipline, or because that desire to quit is not there. That's not the case. It's just because when those voices come up, we go, shut the fuck up. I already said it's not going to happen. You know? And if whatever fires you up, whatever thoughts, beliefs get you excited, if that's proving people wrong, then use that. Let your thoughts and feelings go there. Whatever gives you energy, let them go there. Right?
Okay.
And allow that to kind of propel the action. We're good on goals. We're good on mindset, fight camp, everything like that.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's take a quick look at your health.
All right, guys. So that concludes this special edition segment of the Biohacking Secrets Show. There was a little bit more to the consultation, but some of it was proprietary, some of it was personal, and this illustrated what was most important, and that is how much our mindset and what we are willing to do in order to achieve a desired outcome dictates our success. When I really look back at the areas that I've struggled in life, and there have been many, at the root, there's always some example of mental weakness, or I'm trying to find a workaround. I'm trying to not necessarily do the stuff that I don't want to do, or the stuff that I know is going to be very challenging or difficult. And once we flip that switch in our mind, where we are willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what it is, and we are fully committed, seize part, and the world opens up for us. If there's an area in your life, whether it's with your weight, whether it's with finances, whatever it is, if you decide that you're willing to do whatever it takes, of course, while maintaining your morals and ethics, you'll find that you start making progress faster and easier than you may have thought possible. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please head over to iTunes or Apple Podcasts or whatever they're calling it these days and leave the Biohacking Secrets Show a 5-star review. Tell your friends about it. And if you're interested in applying for our one-on-one coaching program, you can go to biohackingsecrets.com/coaching. That's biohackingsecrets.com/coaching. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and I'll talk to you soon.